Hello, this is Captain Jim for the Monopoly Project. We're here on Val Vista Lakes. We're here on the Monopoly Project yacht. Every successful real estate investor has a yacht, and this is the Monopoly Project yacht. We are here to do our floating book reviews. Unfortunately, it's the Bikini Girls Day off, so you just have me here on the lake today. And today we have 5 books. We've had actually quite a bit of rain here. It's December 5th. It rained a lot on Saturday. Sunday was a little. Today's Monday. And we've got so much water in the retention things that kids are riding their bicycles through it. And so I'll splice that in here now so that you can see the kids doing kid stuff, riding bicycles through puddles. Anyway, like I said, you can see now the sun's in my eyes. I'm headed west, and it is about 4 in the afternoon. So we have 5 books, just in no particular order. The Seeds of War by Alaric Bond. This is the 14th book in the series, and you already know what I'm going to say about it. I loved it, and I did love it. I think he has one more. This one's 277 pages, but it describes him, the Captain King, now off the United States, and he makes friends with a United States guy who he almost has to fight because this is just before the War of 1812. Number 2 is Churchill, A Drinking Life by Jin Sanders. Yes, his first name is Jin, and Roxanne Langer. 155 pages hardback. It's just a little book about what Churchill actually drank and his habits and such. It's actually a lot of interesting stuff, so we'll get into that. Number 3 is The Philosophy of Modern Song by Bob Dylan. It's a bunch of chapters about songs, some really well known, some I'd never heard of, that I guess were in his formative years, and you can see the sun's right in my eyes and I cannot see anything. And so he goes through them, and it's more a reflection on Dylan than it is on the songs, and he's got some it's pretty weird thoughts for Dylan, but of course he's in his 70s now, or maybe even 80, so he's old now, so he can express non-heterodox thoughts. The other book is The Boy in Abruzzo, 273 pages by Louis Rosati. I picked that up on the airport on the way to Bakersfield last week when we were closing on our 36-unit assisted living facility, and read it on the plane. Great book. And finally, the 5th book is The Resurrected Jesus, 355 pages by David Limbaugh and Kristen Limbaugh Bloom. Kristen is Rush Limbaugh's daughter. David, of course, is his brother. They talk about the New Testament and go through some of the books and what they thought of them. So anyway, those are our 5 books for December, so we'll get right to it. Okay, it's Jim on the Monopoly Project yacht. We're doing our floating book reviews of the books we read in November. It's a beautiful day here in Phoenix on Monday afternoon. You can see we're floating on Val Vista Lakes, and we've had some really good weather. We even had a little rain, and Saturday was nice and overcast and rainy, which is unusual. But anyway, we're on to our 2nd book, which is called Churchill, A Drinking Life, and it was written by Jin Sanders. Yes, his first name is Jin, J-I-N, and Roxanne Langer. And it's basically a review of, there's a lot of stories about Churchill drinking and his legendary appetite for drink. And so they actually went through with the permission of his estate and actually found out what he actually drank and what he ordered from the various wine merchants and stuff. And there's a lot of interesting thing. If you don't know Churchill lived till he was 90 years old. He was the giant, probably the giant of the 20th century in terms of statesmen. It turns out that they did an analysis of, for example, his favorite drink was champagne, which he would drink continuously all day. And they found out that he drank over his lifetime 1.5 bottles a day over 90 years, which is like some 44,000 bottles, which is kind of amazing when you think about it. And then it goes on to discuss his preferences. He did not like red wine. He liked white wine. He drank whiskey, but at a very low level, virtually medicinal rather than tumblers full. And so the first half of the book, it basically goes through the big categories of wine, starting with champagne, of course, and then going down through the rest of them. I guess I can show you does he have it? So the chapters are what he liked to drink, which ones, Number two, with whom did he like to drink? Where did he drink? Cocktails in the manner. And then there's a bunch of recipes for various different drinks that he either drank or was purported to drink. You can hear all the ducks are coming after us over here. I think they probably think I have food, which I don't, because food's kind of scarce on the lake in the winter. In any case, it's certainly worth reading. It's a fun book. It's interesting, like I said, and there's actually a lot of interesting history in here where they talk about, you know, who he hung out with, you know, the Duke of Marlborough. Interesting thing is he actually never met Hitler personally, even though he was involved in politics, not just, you know, England and the British Islands, but in, you know, Western European, American, even world politics. He was involved that ever since, you know, he became a young man. So it's sort of interesting that he literally never met Hitler in that time. He obviously met Stalin. He met most of the American presidents at that time and that. So in any case, I heartily recommend it if you're interested in Churchill, if you're interested in history, if you're interested in drinking. This is really a great book. It's a fun read. So a definite recommendation from the Monopoly Project. And let's go on to our next book. You can hear our dog warning signals out here. So